What is going on, my North County fam? I'm your girl Kelly, here to give you the rundown on what happened in St. Louis County government this week, and here's what you need to know. So first, yes, the ARPA, aka the American Rescue Plan Act saga, it continues. So although the county council, they're holding on the spending of ARPA coin until the results from the community survey are released, there have been some additional requests made to spend the remaining $80-ish million that St. Louis County has in ARPA coins. So what are these requests, right? So first, Councilwoman Webb has made 5 requests to spend some of this ARPA coin in St. Louis County. So number one, $5 million to address food insecurity in her district, which is the 4th district. Number two, $14 million to provide each district with $2 million in the 7 districts. So 2 times 7, 14. Just trying to do the math for folks. For ARPA eligible projects as designated by the council person in that district. Her third request, $11 million to demolish derelict properties in St. Louis County. Her fourth request, $6 million to demolish, you guessed it, Jamestown Mall. And her fifth request, $1 million to purchase a mobile health unit. So, aside from Councilwoman Webb's request, Chairwoman Days, she requested $2 million to address food insecurity in the 1st district, which is her district. And then lastly, but certainly not least, County Executive Sam Page. He recommended a request based off of, I guess, him keying with the acting health director for St. Louis County, Dr. Khan. So there was a request made on their behalf to appropriate $300,000 for a feasibility study to replace the North Central Community Health Center, which I believe is in Pine Lawn, as well as the Thomas J. Gantner building that houses the office of the medical examiner. So if you add all those M's up, right, in addition to the M's previously discussed in other rundowns. So I did the math with my calculator on my phone, y'all, and the total came out to $100.8 million. Now, mind you, what I said before, there's $80-ish million left that they have in ARPA funding. And this ain't even including whatever the community and whatever St. Louis County residents have as far as how they feel the funding should be spent. So speaking of the survey results, y'all, yes, the results are in apparently, and they will be presented to the county council during their committee of the whole meeting on Tuesday, April 19th at 4 p.m. So y'all know I'm gonna keep you posted on what happens with this, because to be honest, I have no clue on how this is gonna turn out. So to be continued. So the next thing y'all need to know about, during the county council meeting on Tuesday, y'all, it got spicy, it got real, when there was a discussion about, St. Louis County, they are slated to pay, I guess, $100 million in bonds to upgrade the convention center in the city, and also $40 million in bonds to create and to build a North County track and field complex on UMSL's land. So it got real because Chairwoman Days, who sponsored this legislation, basically, she made a tweak. So she presented a change to this bill regarding this matter during the meeting. And so after the proposed change to the bill, it was read, Councilman Tracus, he expressed his concerns.
Councilman Tracus.
Thank you. With all due respect, Madam Chair, the substitute bill is fraught with problems. I have it on absolute reliable information that the city's half of the obligation to redo the dome has been bidded out and that in response to their RFP, they got one bid that was 50% higher than the allocated cost. It's clear that the amount set aside for redoing the dome is insufficient given labor costs and supplies. The only sound course of action here is to bring Ms. Radcliffe back before this council as a committee of the whole and let her address the question of the actual cost of redoing the dome. In addition to that, Madam Chair, the additional $40 million for the facility in North County is premature at best. We've seen no documentation from UMSL or anywhere else regarding the provision of land for this facility. Similarly, there's been no authorization for the retention of qualified architects to develop a design. So this bill is really premature at this point, and I cannot support it. And I would request that we submit the matter to a committee of the whole and hear from the Convention and Visitors Bureau and decide whether or not this dome can be done for the amount of bonding that this bill requires. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
So, you know, the chairwoman, she had to respond. So this was her response to his thoughts.
I'm open to suggestions that you have, and nobody has come with any suggestions until, again, I want to move this forward. So with that, I want to hear what you have to say. If you have any constructive criticism, I want to hear that. But we have been on this for 3 years. 3 years we have been working on this. Nobody came up with any ideas until I said, CVC, you're not getting yours until we look at this project for North County. And that's when we started this in November. And from November to now is when we have put together, we have worked very hard with trying to put this together. And so again, as we take one step forward, you want to move us back 3. It's tradition. We've done this for 300 years. Black people make 2 steps forward, you give us 4 back. It's time for to stop. It's time for the games to stop playing the games.
And y'all, the discussion, it definitely didn't stop there. So check this out, the exchange between Councilman Tracus and Chairwoman Days.
Councilman Tracus.
I'm profoundly disappointed, and I will not be cowed by your decision to play the race card, Madam Chair. This has got nothing to do with race. This has to do with proper process and procedure. I am not going to get behind $40 million, approve $40 million in bonding without any idea where this facility is going to be, whether or not UMSL has even, you talk about transparency. I've seen no letter from UMSL. I've seen no memorandum of understanding. I've spoken to the developer that you've worked with, and that his suggestion to me was that we authorize $100,000 to retain an architect to design a facility so that we can then begin to piece together how much that facility will cost. So this is about process and procedure and doing things the right way. And to try and divert attention away from that by raising the race card, I take offense at it. I will not be cowed by it.
Well, you can say however you want to, but I noticed that when we have opportunities in other parts of the county, I don't hear this kind of rhetoric. I don't hear that we can't do this because we don't have enough money or you don't have the process. I'm trying to abide by the process that I've been told that we have to do. That's what I've been, as again, I said, I'm not a developer. So I'm talking to these developers and they tell me this is how you do this. And that's what I'm working with. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm working with anybody who wants to help me get this done. But I will tell you, you know the complexion of the people in North County as well as I do. And so to say that this is not about race, it absolutely is about race, because the kids in North County are the ones who are doing without. I think your kids in South County have recreational opportunities, West County, recreational activities. We don't have that in North County. Thank you.
Ma'am. So, I know the race card, y'all. So after all that back and forth, the county council approved the proposed tweak in legislation that Chairwoman Days was seeking from her fellow council members. Chairwoman Days, though, she didn't move forward with final passage. She could have, but she decided to put a pause on moving forward with final passage of this bill. But she did say next week she's going to move for it to be finally passed. And using her words, she said, it's do or die on this, y'all. We voting this up or we voting this down. Point blank, period. I'm tired of playing with y'all. We doing this next week. So we shall see. And the last thing you need to know. So the saga regarding the county executive having a side hustle, it appears that it has come to an end, y'all. Yes. So listen to this clip as Councilman Fitch has his key with no one other than, yes, County Executive Sam Page.
So on Proposition B, we heard the county executive spokesman make a statement last week that he has quit his side job at Western Anesthesiologist and Mercy Hospital. What we have not heard is anything from the county executive. So I'd like to ask the county executive, is it true that you have quit your second job and you'll devote all your time to the duties of your office as county executive?
Councilman, I'll follow the charter, which means that I won't be working as an employed situation or a contracted situation as an anesthesiologist. I do hope to volunteer. I know there's a mission trip coming up later on in the year, and I hope I'll be able to volunteer my time in areas that need it.
Thank you for that, and I wish you well on your volunteer work. This was never about volunteer work. This was about income making in addition to the county executive's position. And that's what it's all been about. It's never been about credentialing. You know as well as we do that you don't have to work as an anesthesiologist and get paid to keep your credentials as a physician. Nobody was trying to take that away from you. So I just want to make sure, so you will not work any other outside work at all. Is that correct?
I won't be in an employed situation. I won't be in a contracted situation. I'm not sure I could answer your question to your satisfaction. I do hope to volunteer in many activities, as I have my entire life. And one of them will be medical mission trips. And there may be other opportunities in the community for me to take care of patients in a volunteer setting. I'm glad that you don't have a problem with that. That's interesting. And it looks like we may be in an area of agreement tonight.
That's good, and I appreciate that.
Woo child, yes. So it appears that we are done with these investigations, with all these subpoenas being requested and everything. It is what it is, and now the county council can move forward with doing some other things in St. Louis County. So that's all I have for y'all this week. Please stay safe out there, stay well, and you will see me soon. Peace.